Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, so Meghna, can you just summarize whatever we learned till now? What is the title?
Variations of psychological attributes.
Variations
Of psychological attributes.
of or in?
Of
In.
when we studied the individual difference, situational assessment, and in that we studied the domains and the assessment methods and the intelligence and how some psychologists define, and also how the Oxford Dictionary define the intelligence.
Okay. Raina, which are the domains that we study? Domains of psychological attributes that we study.
Values,
Hmm.
intelligence,
Hmm. Enduring characteristics of people. What is it called? Something related to person.
perception.
No. Okay, leave that. The next one. What do you say for preferences?
Personality,
Personality is P. Now, then I prefer coffee to tea. Means
attitude,
not attitude. Aptitude is there. That is also there. One more is starts with I.
interest,
Interest. Okay. So that is just summarize all the points. Values,
values, intelligence, personality, aptitude,
just now
interest.
you said interest. Yes. VIPAI. Isn't it? Okay. Now, Aishwarya, which are the methods?
Psychological test,
Hmm.
interview,
Hmm.
case study,
Hmm.
self-report,
Hmm.
observation.
Very good. Picos. We use the mnemonic as Picos. Picos. Okay. Now next, Grishma. How did Alfred Binet define intelligence?
The ability to judge well, understand well, and reason well.
Yes, judge, understand, and reason well. That was Binet's definition. Now, I told you this is a holy definition by Wechsler. Ashish, can you try? Ashish, Wechsler's definition.
Putting the
Hmm.
reality,
It is the global and
Oxford,
not Oxford's. Wechsler's definition.
action purposeful.
Act purposefully. I'll give you a clue. Act, think, and deal.
Think rationally.
Think rationally. Act purposefully, that you already said. Then Deal. Deal with what?
environment,
Yes, deal effectively with his or her environment. So intelligence is the global and aggregate capacity of an individual to think rationally, act purposefully, and deal effectively with his or her environment, or her or his environment. That is the definition given by Wechsler. Okay. Now, Elvina, what is the general definition of intelligence that we learned?
Intelligence is the global capacity to understand the world, think rationally, and use the resources effectively when faced with challenges.
Okay, very good. Mehak, what happened to you yesterday? You're not there. Nothing specific? Tell me. I'm just casually asking you. Chemistry class at the same time. Okay. Did you see the recording? Did you see the recording of the class? I'll watch it today. Okay, fine. And watch it and let me know if you have any doubt. Okay. Daily we'll be revising the portion. You have to study daily portions. Otherwise, there are heaps of information in this chapter itself. So you won't be able to follow. Okay. So make up for it when you miss a class. Okay, next one. Yes, Amal. Define assessment. Assessment refers to the, don't turn and look, just understand and tell me. Just the measure. What do you do in measurement? Tell me that. Don't stop biting your nails. Unmute.
uh,
Two things are mainly done when we do an assessment. What is done? First we starting with M. Measure it. We take the measurement. Just like the example I told you yesterday, if I'm measuring happiness, I'll give a happiness scale or a happiness questionnaire. I'll measure that. Then what will we do with that measured thing? To interpret it, what will we do? We have to
evaluation,
evaluate or analyze. The word we have used here is evaluation. So now again, look at the definition. It refers to the measurement of psychological attributes of individuals and their evaluation. Measurement of psychological attributes and their evaluation. Then, often using multiple methods. What do we use? The methods. There are different methods for this evaluation. Case study, observation, interview, so and so. Okay, so we measure something, then we evaluate that something. That is assessment. It is done in terms of different methods. Understood now? Okay, and what was the difference between testing and assessment, Amal?
ma'am, testing is the part of assessment.
Testing is a part of assessment. Very good. Okay. Now we move on to the theories of intelligence. I hope the topic till this is fine. Yes, clear? All clear? Is there anything that I should explain once more? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Ma'am, last one small paragraph is there. We didn't discuss that about two psychologists. Is that
Which is
important?
that? Okay. Just read that. We are going to study about them. So it's anyways okay. Just read that aloud, Aishwarya.
Other psychologists such as Gardner and Sternberg have suggested that an intelligent individual not only adapts to the environment but also actively modifies or shapes it.
Yes.
We will be able to understand the concept of intelligence and how it has evolved when we discuss some important theories of intelligence.
Yes. That's it. They have just mentioned the names of two people. We are going to learn more about intelligence, theories of intelligence. And we have Sternberg, we have Guilford, we have Gardner, then Jensen, Spearman, so many people coming up. Okay, so we learned two people in the beginning, Alfred Binet and who was the other one?
David Webster.
David Wechsler. Wechsler and Binet. Remember that at least. Wechsler's definition, Binet's definition are very important. Learn that again and again. You'll confuse otherwise. All well, well, well. That is whose definition? Judge well, understand well, reason well.
Albert Binet. Alfred Binet.
Alfred Binet. And the big holy definition is from Wechsler. Okay. Now we move on to the theories. There are so many theories, just like memories. We dealt with so many theories, just like that we have here also. And most of the theories, we usually say that there are two categories or two types of approaches towards these intelligence theories. First one is psychometric. It can be either psychometric approach or it can be information processing approach. Where have you learned information processing before? In +1, did you learn about information processing approach? Anywhere? Mehak, did you learn? Yes. Yes or no? Somebody tell me something. Why you sitting
The
like
chapter memory,
memory? What did you learn about memory?
long-term memory,
Long-term memory. Where did we learn about information processing approach?
for in-depth study of a particular case. I don't remember.
What did we compare our memory system with?
Computer.
Computer.
Computers. And what was that approach known as?
Information processing approach.
Yeah, information processing approach. Then did you learn about top down and bottom up processing? Yes. What was it called? What was it called? Under what did we learn that? Top down and bottom up processing. Forgot. Find it and come tomorrow. Do you have the book with you? Okay, fine. So the two approaches are psychometric and information processing. And psychometric has another name, structural approach. It's also called structural approach. Okay, so one approach is psychometric and the other approach can be which one? Choose the second one.
Information processing.
Information processing approach. So now we are going to study so many theories about intelligence, but understand that there are two views on intelligence. One is regarding psychometric approach. The other one is regarding information processing approach. Okay, and what is the other name for psychometric approach? Structural approach. Okay, fine. So, Helvina, start reading theories of intelligence. Please pay attention here. This is very important. You have so many theories coming up. Okay. Yeah, start.
Theories of intelligence. Psychologists have proposed several theories of intelligence.
Hmm.
Theories can be broadly classified as either representing a psychometric or structural approach or an information processing approach.
Yes.
The psychometric approach considers intelligence as an aggregate of abilities.
Hmm.
It expresses the individual's performance in terms of a single index of cognitive abilities. On the other hand,
wait, just a minute, let me explain this. So psychometric approach explains intelligence in terms of or as a product of an aggregate of abilities. What do you mean by an aggregate of something? Total of something. Aggregate marks. Have you heard about that? Yes, when you calculate all your marks, we say aggregate marks, which means the total of something. It also means the product of something or a combination of something or a mix of something. Okay, aggregate has such a meaning also. So, aggregate of abilities means intelligence would be an aggregate of abilities. What does that mean?
Mix of many abilities.
Yes, a mix of many abilities, or it can be a combination or a whole of so many specific abilities. Understood? Just like the Gestalt view that we learned. Whole is from your 11th standard. Whole is greater than its parts. Very good. Okay. Whole is greater than the sum of its parts, or whole is greater than its parts. So, in the psychometric approach, intelligence is considered as a combination or an aggregate of abilities. Understood? An aggregate of abilities. That is the key term there. Aggregate of abilities. Write down in your lecture note. Aggregate of abilities. Simultaneously, keep underlining in your text. This is a very important point. Psychometric approach. It explains or it conceptualizes intelligence in terms of aggregate of abilities. Now, it expresses the individual's performance in terms of a single index of cognitive abilities. So, when I calculate IQ, what was the formula of IQ? Formula of IQ.
MA by CA into 100.
Yeah, IQ equals, what was it, Ashish?
MA by CA into 100.
MA by CA into 100. Reina, what was the formula or the equation? IQ equals
MA by CA into 100.
MA by CA into 100. So I define intelligence in terms of a single score, which is IQ, isn't it? When I ask you, what is your intelligence? Then you can say my IQ is this. So that is in consideration with this view of intelligence. What is that view called? Psychometric approach or structural approach to intelligence. In this particular approach, it is considered, intelligence is considered as an aggregate of abilities, and it is expressed in terms of one single index. One index means based on one score or based on one main factor. Just like Gestalt, whole is some bigger than or it's more important than the sum of its parts. So that whole is important. Here also, that one main index is important. Did you understand that? Yes. So that is psychometric approach. Now, Meghna, read the next one, information processing.
on the other hand, the information processing approach describes the process people use in intellectual reasoning and problem solving. The major focus of this approach is on how an intelligent person acts, rather than focusing on structure of intelligence or its underlying dimensions. Information processing approaches emphasize studying cognitive functions underlying intelligent behavior. We will discuss some representative theories of these approaches.
Okay. So, according to information processing approach, what is important is the processes. The processes or spelling process or the functions underlying intelligence. So again, when somebody asks you how intelligent are you, in terms of psychometric approach, you can say that my IQ is this, or my intelligence quotient is this particular score, or I have an average intelligence, I have a borderline intelligence, I have a low intelligence, I have a high intelligence. You can use a single index to describe that. See here, a single index is used to describe the psychometric approach. But in terms of information processing approach, what will we do? We describe in terms of processes, or we describe in terms of functions. It decides how we perform different activities, or how we perform different skills, or how intelligent we are in performing something, in performing the functions, in doing the process, etc. Understood? So again, if somebody asks you or poses you with a question, how intelligent are you in terms of this or in terms of that, then you can answer, I can dance well, I can do this step well, then I can do the steps in both classical and Western, I can do this particular style of dance, then that all involves some process or some function, isn't it? That is the information processing approach. So again, coming back to the differences, psychometric approach is also known as what approach, Amal? What is it called? What is psychometric approach otherwise called? Structural approach. Yes, very good. So structural approach or psychometric approach considers intelligence as an aggregate of abilities. Aggregate means a combination or a mix or a total of abilities, and it is expressed in terms of a single index of cognitive abilities. Then second approach is information processing approach. In that, the focus is on the processes or on the functions, and how, that is the question here, how we do something, how we perform certain activities, how these processes are involved, how they function. That is the focus of information processing approach. Are you able to follow? Yes? All good? Mehak, are you able to follow?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shall we move on to the next topic? Okay. And who will read now? Raina. Where is Raina? Did she leave? Okay, Grishma, read the next paragraph.
Ma'am, from where?
We mentioned above that.
He mentioned about that Alfred Binet was the first psychologist who tried to formalize the concept of intelligence in terms.
Yes, just a minute. Meghna, what was the definition given by Alfred Binet for intelligence?
They describe as reason well, judge well, and ability to do well.
Judge well, reason well, and one more. For judging and reasoning, first you have to
The ability to judge well, understand well.
understand well, judge well, reason well. Three wells are there. Okay. Understand, reason, and judge. Okay, fine. Continue, Grishma.
Prior to him, we find the notion of intelligence described in general ways in various philosophical
Treatises.
Available in different cultural traditions.
Yes.
Binet's theory of intelligence was rather simple as it arose from his interest in differentiating more intelligent from less intelligent individuals.
Yes. Okay, wait. I'll tell you a story now. So how did psychologists start studying intelligence, or how did this fact of intelligence come into psychology? or rather we can call, how are we studying psychology now? How are we testing intelligence in psychology now? The story goes back to a not few, so too many years back, when Alfred Binet and one other person was called by a French school. Head of the French school called him, and their aim was to differentiate between the students who were intelligent and who were not intelligent. Understood? They wanted to differentiate the students who are intelligent, who are not intelligent. And the purpose was they wanted to provide different types of education or different types of educational facilities to both the groups. So what was the aim? The aim was to differentiate between the students who are intelligent and not intelligent. That is, the students who required some special support in learning in the education process. Okay. And then Alfred Binet, along with another person, that is his colleague, came up with this intelligence test. It is known as Stanford Binet test. We will learn about that when we study about the assessment, but just know it. Okay. So this is how the first intelligence test came up. So that is why that sentence is written there. Grishma, just repeat the sentence. The last one.
Binet's theory of
Yeah.
was rather simple as it arose from his interest in differentiating more intelligent from less intelligent individuals.
Yes, it was to differentiate more intelligent from less intelligent. That was the purpose of his test. He was asked to design a test so that the students in that French school, they could be divided into more intelligent and less intelligent students. Okay, then continue.
He therefore conceptualized intelligence as consisting of one similar set of abilities which can be used for solving any or every problem in an individual's environment.
Mm.
This theory of intelligence is called Rooney or one-factor theory of intelligence.
Yeah, underline that. A 1 mark question can come from this section. What type of theory did Alfred Binet pose about intelligence? It is known as uni. Uni means
One.
one. Uni means one, and bi means
Two.
two. Yes. Uni means one, so it is known as uni or one factor theory. Unifactor theory or one factor theory, because according to Alfred Binet's concept, theoretical concept, intelligence was described as a single factor. That factor can determine all your other activities, behavior patterns, and so on. Understood? It is known as unifactor or one factor theory. So if I ask you the question, who proposed the unifactor or one factor theory? What will you write?
Alfred Binet.
Alfred Binet. The one factor theory or unifactor theory or that concept was by Alfred Binet. We cannot say that that concept itself was by Alfred Binet, but it's more like he was for that particular view of intelligence. He was not against the one factor theory, he was for that view about one factor theory or unifactor theory. Now, after one factor, what would come? Common sense.
Factor.
Two factor theory. So next is two factor theory. One factor theory was Alfred Binet's two factor theory. Two factor theory. And that was by Charles Spearman. Slowly, the names are coming up. So make sure that you learn that daily. That was by Charles Spearman. Note the spellings. Charles Spearman. And the way I remember it is by connecting this with the word spear. Spear has two ends, right? Have you seen a spear? Yes. Yeah, the spear has two ends. So I connect it with two-factor theory. And I told you I'm a visual learner or a kinesthetic one. So on one side, I draw G and keep. On the other side, I draw S and keep. These are the two factors mentioned in Spearman's theory. G factors and S factors. G factors and S factors. Okay, G factors are general factors. So what would be S factors?
Specific.
Yes. They are general factors, that is G factors, and specific factors, which are called S factors. These are the ones that Charles Spearman has explained in terms of intelligence. So according to Charles Spearman, intelligence means these two factors. General fact intelligence is determined in terms of these two factors, which are general factors and specific factors. We'll see what they are. Just copy down. Rena, read. Two-factor theory, 1927. This happened, we came up with this in 1927. Underline.
In 1927, Charles Spearman proposed a two-factor theory of intelligence employing a statistical method called factor analysis.
Factor analysis. Okay, factor analysis is a statistical method. It's a very complicated method, so I'm not telling more about it. Just connect it with this and learn. He explained factors, right? So he did factor analysis, and then only he found out all these factors. This was the method used, factor analysis. It is a statistical procedure. Just like correlation, correlation is also one among the statistical procedure. We have correlation, regression, factor analysis, so and so and so. So leave that. Just learn this term, factor analysis. Okay, continue.
He showed that intelligence consists of a general factor, G factor, and some specific factors,
S factor.
S factors. The G factor includes mental operation which are primary and common to all performances. In addition to the G factor, he said that there are also many specific abilities.
Mm.
These are contained in what he called S factor.
Yes.
Example,
Example.
excellent singers, architects, scientists, athletics may high on G factor, but
Maybe high on G factor, but
in addition to this, they have specific abilities which allow them to excel in their respective domains.
respective domains.
Spearman's theory was followed by Lewis Thurstone theory.
Theory.
He proposed the theory of primary mental abilities.
Okay, wait. So next person is coming. We have not completed Spearman's. Next person is coming up, Louis Thurston. So make sure this is we fed up now itself. You have even more. You have even more in personality and disorders. So don't worry. Okay. I mean, start worrying now. So Charles Spearman, he brought about a theory on intelligence. What was the theory's name? What was the theory's name?
Primary mental ability.
Primary mental ability. I circled it. Yeah. What is it, Rena?
Factor.
Two-factor theory. Charles Spearman came up with two-factor theory in 1927. He explained that intelligence consists of two types of factors. What are they called? General factors, which is known as
G factor.
G factor, and specific factors, which are known as
S
S factor. Yes, G factors, S factors. That's easy. And what method did he use? He used a statistical method. Statistical method known as this one again, factor analysis. Okay, is that clear enough? Okay, I'm going pretty slow because again there are too many theories to by heart. That's why I'm telling, if you don't put effort from your side, then you will suffer. So we started with two approaches to intelligence. What were they? Generally, we say there are two approaches, psychometric approaches and information processing approach. What is the other name for psychometric? Structural approach. Okay. I hope that's clear. So the psychometric approach explains it in terms of a single index. And it is an aggregate of abilities. It explains intelligence in terms of an aggregate of abilities. That is psychometric approach. Fix that in your head. Psychometric means aggregate of abilities. Aggregate means we get only one aggregate, isn't it? For your, after your exams, you get one aggregate percent or one aggregate score. That is one. So intelligence is explained only in terms of one index of cognitive abilities. Which approach am I talking about? Psychometric approach. Okay. Now next one is information processing approach. Information processing approach means information processing. We have processes there. Processes and functions. It deals with how we do certain things or how we are engaged in different activities or how, that is the functions or the process, underlying processes and functions of intelligence. That is the approach known as information processing approach. Now we studied two theories. One was Alfred Binet's theory. What was it called?
One
Alfred
factor theory.
One factor, or otherwise called
Unifactor theory.
unifactor theory. One factor theory or unifactor theory. Now, for Spearman's charts, Spearman's theory, sphere and two sides for the sphere. So on one side we have G,
Factor.
side you have S. So that is Spearman's theory, which is two-factor theory. We have two factors, G factor and S factor, which stands for general and specific respectively. And he used the method of what analysis? Factor analysis. Is that clear? Will you study and come? You should. Yes. And primary mental abilities, that is by Louis Thurston. We have some 6 or 7. Yeah, 7 primary mental abilities. These all, he says that all these things make up intelligence. Alfred Binet was the best one because he told only one factor is there. And Spearman told no, there are 2 factors. Then the other person, he gave heaps of factors, which is known as the primary mental abilities that we'll study in the next class. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.